January 13th, 2025, Robertson County School Board meeting will now come to order. Would you please silence your cell phones and electronic devices and join me in a moment of silence? Thank you. Would you please stand for our pledge of allegiance?
Ladies and gentlemen, we're fortunate to be led tonight by the Rich Tots from Watauga Elementary School. If you would join us. You all be seated, please. We want to introduce this fine group to you. I'm going to ask you to tell us your name as we go down the line. Can you tell me your name? Awesome. Can you tell me your name? Do it loud. That was exactly right. Just do it loud. All right. Your turn. What's your name?
Weston Pratt.
Weston Pratt. Can you tell me your name?
Porter.
Porter. Can you tell me your name, sir? No. I appreciate your honesty. Let's give this group a little round of applause.
I'm saying we might as well stop now. I can't follow that. Everybody. Okay, board members, you have before you some items in our consent agenda tonight. What is your pleasure?
Motion to approve. Second.
Motion by Mr. Ayers, second by Mr. Rice. Questions, discussion? All those in favor of approval, make it known by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion passes 6-0. Recognitions.
Board members, tonight we do have, it's our normal time that we would recognize employees of the quarter, and we would like to recognize this evening our employee of the quarter for our transportation department. So, Mr. Heinrich, could I ask that you two come forward, please? Ms. Hogan, we'll ask if you help out. Tonight we are presenting Mr. Lance Stapleton as the employee of the quarter for our transportation department. Mr. Stapleton has served as student transportation department since November of 2014. He is a stellar example of a servant leader. He can be called on to offer advice on complex matters and always provides intricately detailed and well-reasoned responses. His calm demeanor and remarkably kind disposition make him well-suited to serve students in our special needs population. Mr. Stapleton is one of those employees who would refer to as a home run player. Mr. Stapleton is a remarkable spiritual leader within his community, and as well as someone that we all look up to for his deep knowledge as it relates to those matters. It's for these reasons that he was selected to be the student transportation employee of the quarter. Mr. Stapleton, we thank you for your work and your service to Robertson County Schools. Ms. Hogan has a congratulations.
accomplishment that I may have is dependent on so many other people.
And we cannot claim any superiority or any excellence above anyone else. We have a great team, a great leader, a great staff, and a number of people that in the church ministry, we often distinguish between organization and organism. Organization is the mechanical function. Organism is the connection of people. And in our program, in our transportation program, we have a great organism where we depend on one another, rely on one another, and make it work as a team. And I'm just glad to be a part of that. And thank you, Mr.
Thank you, Mr. Board members, our other two employees of the quarter, one is a little under the weather and one is out during their snow day today, so we will catch up with their recognitions at our next meeting, and so we'll recognize our support person and our school nutrition person at that point in time.
Okay, then we'll move on to our personnel reports.
Board members, under item 5A in your packet, page 30 of your document, you will see that we start with certified personnel reports. You see several recognitions, several leaves of absence, transfers, and new hires. Page 31, you'll see the classified report. You see leaves of absence, resignations, see one dismissal, actually two dismissals, transfers, reassignments, hires, and volunteer coaches. While we're talking about personnel, we'd like to again announce that we are having a job fair coming up in March, and we are going to do everything we can to try to get staff in as they're excited to get people employed by Robertson County, helping them understand what a great place this is to work, and helping them understand the benefits that we offer that many school systems don't have. And so that'll be part of our spring activities.
Okay, any questions on personnel report? Our next item is expense comparison report.
Item 6A, page 32 in your package, you'll see the revenue and expense comparison through October. Again, these numbers show these are through November. You'll see the revenues in 2024, $46.3 million, or 33% of our budget. Expenditures at $53.1 million, or 37% of our budget. We've been through line item by line item, and we've identified categories that are approaching that area that we're a little concerned about. And again, we've adjusted and made some adjustments to those. In terms of revenue, property taxes are coming in. They're a little bit slower than we projected. 1.8 million, 10% of our projections, and sales tax, 6.7 million, or 39.4% of our budget and projections. Again, we're watching sales tax particularly. That's again, it's still coming in under what we had projected. And we'll continue to watch that, particularly as we'll get some Christmas numbers coming up, and hopefully that'll make some difference in those. The items that we've tracked particularly and watched carefully: electricity, 1 million, or 43%; diesel fuel, gasoline, salaries, and insurance, all within that 30-40% range where they need to be at this point in the year.
Are there any questions on the expense comparison report? Our next item is a budget amendment.
Item 6B helps correct some of those issues that we looked at and were slightly out of line. You see this is a cleanup amendment. It's the first one that we'll submit to county finance and to county commission for their approval. You do see the revenues. This is a balanced budget amendment, so for $951,964, you'll see the various revenues that have come to the district on the top of page 34. Some of those state monies, some of those other rebates, and other items that have been given to the system. And then just some adjustments through pages 34, 35, and the top of page 36 to kind of clean up some of those line items where we were a little close and a little concerned at this mid-year pass point where we've looked at those. So again, it's a balanced budget amendment, 951,964. This would require your approval, and then we'll carry it to county finance, county commission.
Motion to approve.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Josh White, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. White. Now, are there any questions? Discussion. All those in favor of approval of the budget amendment, make it known by saying aye. Opposed, no. Motion passes 6-0. Next item on our agenda is approval of school board policies on first reading.
Good evening. Two policies are being brought to you tonight for revision, excuse me, for your approval with minor tweaks. First policy is 4.603, promotion and retention. Based on updates at its November meeting, the State Board of Education has added a provision to the promotion and retention policy that allows parents and guardians who choose, excuse me, who choose to retain their student who is in grades kindergarten through second to submit a written request within 30 days of the end of the school year. If the student is not eligible for voluntary retention under state law, the district is then required to respond to the parent, guardian in writing. A provision to this requirement is reflected in the suggested revisions. Any questions? The second policy, 5.701, substitute teachers. Public Chapter 735 requires that substitute teachers receive annual school safety training. We have updated our model policy to include a provision on this requirement, and that is reflected in what you have in front of you. Any questions?
Do we have a motion to approve these two policies on first reading?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Mr. Jeff White, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Scott Rice. Any questions or discussion? All those in favor of approval, make it known by saying aye. Opposed, no. Motion passes 6-0. The next item is to review the LEA non-public and homeschool reporting form for school year 2024-2025.
Board members, this item would usually be in our consent agenda. I looked back at last year's, and it was on consent agenda, but I found it interesting and just simply wanted to share this with you. As you know, individuals that choose to homeschool their children are required to report that to the director of schools office by a certain date of the year. We're also notified of those who have chosen private school and to send their children to private schools. And so this report is compiled by Kathy Watkins in our Student Services Department. And I just wanted to share this with you of the number of students that are reported to our office, as they're required to do by law, that they are participating in a homeschool or a private school. And so you'll see in category 1, 2, 3, and 5 schools, these are just randomly sanctioned private schools that someone can enroll in. In Robertson County, we have 1,156 students enrolled in private schools. Category 4 schools are those church-related schools. We have 987, so another 1,000 students there. And then over in the far column, the independent home schools, 100 students independently being homeschooled. So you see it breakdown by category, you see it by age level, and again, as we look at that total, nearly 2,000 students are not served in Robertson County by our public school system. Just thought that was information that you might want to have, and you might, we get that question often asked, and I think as we look at growth around the county and wondering, sometimes why our enrollment is also flat, here's another 2,000 plus students that sometimes we forget that are living within residents of Robertson County, but we need to make sure that they're accounted for as well. So just provide it for your report. Sometimes in consent agenda, I know I'm guilty, sometimes I'm just kind of reading through and not paying attention to detail to that. Just want to bring that to your attention this evening.
think that's interesting. I'd like to, maybe at our retreat, kind of have some discussion around that. I know discussion come up in the past, when a parent or parents send a request to withdraw their child from our school. What do we do? Like, just have that discussion in one of our planning sessions. Are we reaching out, finding out why, offering, now the open enrollment process? In other words, could be some good information there that we need to look at. That's a pretty big number.
Yes. Thank you. No, yeah, this is just for your review, so no action, that is just, so then pull it out, just for your attention.
It was very interesting, eye-opening, I think. Okay, we'll move on, because we have nothing under transportation facilities,
No.
nothing under communications, and then we're ready for our director of schools report.
Board members, I think the question most people have asked today is, yes, we are back in school tomorrow. We are on regular time. We are on bus driver discretion. This morning, when we, or actually like yesterday afternoon, as we were looking at roads and looking at considerations, there are still several places that, you know, are still ice over, still pretty tough to navigate. And, you know, I know it's not a decision that makes everybody happy, and that's not our job to make everybody happy. So it's our job to make sure everybody is safe, and as safe as they can possibly be. And certainly not a decision that I take lightly. When our supervisor of transportation says I cannot run buses down those roads, that's really all I need to hear. And so that was the decision about today. Tomorrow, we do still have a few roads in the county, and it's just a handful. We've told bus drivers to use their discretion as they travel on roads, and so we've told them do not drive a bus down a road that you do not feel comfortable on. So I think many of them have been out this afternoon navigating, just kind of looking over their routes to see if there are places that they do not need to, you know, travel their buses. And parents have those apps that they may use to see if the bus is coming in their subdivision. So we're happy with that decision. And again, they'll be back in school tomorrow. We're excited about that. Mr. Rice mentioned that you do have a planning session scheduled for the weekend of January 31st and February 1st. So we'd remind you, if you have items that you would need to or would want placed on that agenda, so as we prepare that agenda for that time, if you send those items to us, we'll be glad to take those and to add those to that agenda and compile that so that we have a productive day that morning. And would also like to remind you that if you are interested in, there is a TSBA legal and legislation day that's coming up in the second week of February. I know Ms. White is registered for that and has information for us there. Or if you were interested in attending summer law conferences in Gatlinburg, it is the third weekend of July. It's the 16th, 17th, 18th or so. If you need or are interested in attending that, if you'll let Ms. Trice know so that we can get you registered for that. We'd also just, again, like to put this document before you, is our legislative interests. Ms. White's done an excellent job of helping bring those items to our attention that were concerning to us. And again, I think a lot of that deals with, you see the major topics that we had talked about: educational funding, teacher licensing and staffing, and student accountability and curriculum. I know there is still conversation as you watch television, as you watch the news, and read documents from the Tennessee School Boards Association and other professional organizations. There is still a lot of conversation about the possibility and potential of educational savings accounts. And again, I think we've read and tried to educate ourselves as best as we possibly can on that. There's a lot of information being shared that there are individuals who are very supportive of that, and then there are many school districts who've taken the position so that they're not in favor of those. And so I know, again, that's probably some discussion we'll have at our February 1st meeting, and even though there has been some potential discussion of a special legislative session that would happen before that. So if that were to happen, we'll be in continuous talks with our two legislators, Senator Robertson and Representative Kumar, about our positions on there. And, but again, just wanted to share with you the items that we've had general conversation about. and I think that we would be willing to take positions on when needed. In mentioning that, we have reached out to both Senator Roberts' office and Representative Kumar's office and asked, just as we did last year, if they'd be available to come have a sit down to your lunch or dinner with us. And I know Senator Roberts has changed staff in his office, so we're having a little more difficulty than usual getting that scheduled, but wanted to make sure you were available for a time if and when that they notify us that they can meet with us. And again, I prefer to do it as dinner hour, but if we had to do something during the day for lunch or something, I'll try to give plenty of notice if we had to do something like that. The last thing, just wanted to remind you that winter graduations start this week, and for our students that have taken advantage of the winter graduation option, our schedules will be full the next few nights, and the ones that were scheduled from were originally scheduled for last Friday and Saturday morning have been rescheduled. I've put those rescheduled dates on your calendars, and so we look forward to seeing you at those and having an opportunity to celebrate with those students there. And Ms. Hogan, I think that is all I have.
Do we have any old business? Of course not. New business? You want to start with board comments?
I guess I will.
Okay.
I don't know why, but even though I've been out of school for a long time, I still get excited about a snow day. I hope everybody enjoyed theirs. Nice if it fell over a weekend. You know, we've got to burn as many stockpile days or whatever, but Mr. Hockman, I do want to just give my thanks to you with the level of seriousness you take, look at the roads and making sure that we can safely get kids to and from schools. I know that's a decision that's not taken lightly. I know you probably feel like you're wrong no matter what you do, it's especially days like today where it's kind of borderline, but at the end of the day, the priority is the safety of the students, and I appreciate all y'all do.
Mr. White?
It ain't borderline up there in the ditch,
That's right.
Either in it or you're not. I would love to have some stats on our sub, how many gas is working and all of that. I have talked to some of our former employees who no longer work for that company. They're retired teachers who was working for them. And for many reasons, they do not work for them anymore. I think it would be wonderful if we could figure out a way to reach out to them and us hire them as subs, because we're losing a great asset right there. And I believe I can think of 3 right now from my area that is no longer working that way. Let's see. I'm good until the planning session because somebody's got a surprise for me. That's all I got to say.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about.
With your calls.
I bet you don't have to explain it.
And we eat too.
Okay, just Ms. White.
Just want to say congratulations to all the winter graduates. I think that's a big accomplishment. And anyway, and Mr. Heimerman, I don't know that you get enough praise for what all that y'all do. So I'm glad you brought that up too. So that's a big responsibility, transportation, that's for sure. And I normally don't do this. Because I'm in real estate, I am on social media a lot, but I put something on my Facebook, and it's just, tomorrow the general session starts back at 12 o'clock. So all the meetings that's been on the news, and so I'm just asking for public, just comments, no arguments, no anything, but it's on my personal one. But I will make sure that all of these, that they see these, but just want to get public opinion on how they feel about the money that we pay in taxes being used. Can I say how I personally feel? I did on here. But I definitely think that it needs to all go back into the public system and, not for the vouchers. And so anyway, I'm just curious how other people feel. I've kind of stated my thoughts on that, and so if anybody wants to make a comment, without names, I'll make sure numbers get turned in, so, anyway, that's all I got.
Thank you. Mr. Ayers?
I guess we could do another recognition for whoever posted the Icy Roads picture on the transportation page. Y'all, the kids, students in my house, 100% supported that. So, I thought that y'all did a good job. That was a tough call, but I appreciate it. I want to point out we've got a really cool day coming up on March 5th. I get to work with the Workforce and Education Council, and we've got a job shadowing day coming up. And that was paused through COVID. We started back last year, but we're really going to hit the ground running this year. Jordan, I appreciate all you do for it. This takes our most engaged, really good students that are getting ready to go into a career and matches them so they can spend a whole day job shadowing. They've even met somebody up that wanted to be a sneaker designer before. I always tell that one because Jordan and the Economic Development Board research found somebody, and so any junior and senior that wants to sign up for this, they will match them with somebody in their future career. And I say all the time at these meetings that what we're doing is kids can't be what they can't see. And CTE and our partnership with the Economic Development Board and Chamber, we're opening a lot of doors for the kids that aren't going to college or getting ready to go right into their career, and I'm pretty excited about it. So job shadowing is March 5th, and I think it's February we'll start taking those applications. So I'm excited about that.
Mr. Ayers?
Mine's short of what's already been said. You know, when I left the field of Y this morning, the road was relatively clear until I topped the hill and there was a car in the ditch. You know, and 2 cops were asleep. It just happened this morning. So as you drive down your road, if it's clear, believe me, there are roads in this county that are simply at spots. And I was instantly reminded how part of the job you guys have when you make those decisions. And I appreciate the time and effort in putting the kids first.
You know, I think we've had board comments about as long as the meeting has been tonight. That's not what we usually do, is it? But I would like to say thank you, Mr. Heinerman. There's no telling how many hours in the day you work.
Yeah.
Even on the pretty days, I know you go above and beyond. And I'm going to tell you, it might not be an easy decision to make, but I can always defend erring on the side of safety a whole lot easier than I can any other way. So, hey, you know, we got you've got our support, you know that. The graduations, you know, I know you all know I'm a first grade person, you know, I'm a little kid thing, but these graduations, I mean, there's nothing any more exciting to me than to look at the face, you know, when they get their diploma and you see the expression on their face, that's what it's all about. And, you know, some days I know that we probably, I mean, I think if we were all honest, we'd say there are times that we think, why are we doing this? But when you look at their face and you see, you know, the look on their face when they get that diploma, then we know why we do what we do. So, anyway, I'm looking forward to those graduations. So, if we don't have anything else, I guess the meeting is adjourned. Somewhere.